Welcome, everybody, to the College Football Playoff Preview Show on the Gruely True Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today, we're going to look at the Cotton Bowl National Semifinal between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns. Right now, the Buckeyes are favored by 5.5 to 6 points. If you want to bet the game, our top-rated sportsbook for betting on this game is BetMGM. You can click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. All right, guys, Ohio State's market rating is surging up as this team is fresh off a demolition 41-21 to the number one overall seed Oregon, while Texas continues to show shaky play at times. They struggled at times against Clemson. The Arizona State game, they had a fourth and goal or fourth and 14, put the game on the line. They scored a touchdown on, which bailed them out as they ended up beating Cam Scatterbo in Arizona State in the second overtime, I believe it was. The Buckeyes are a big favorite in this one. And you find it hard to think they're going to have a letdown off the way they played this last game. Ever since that Michigan game that they lost at the end of the season, this team has been on a mission. Now, the Longhorn defense is elite, but will surely be tested against the Buckeyes passing game that has leaned into its strength at wide receiver with Jeremiah Smith and Egbuka. The two wide receivers are combined for 23 catches, 442 yards, and 5 touchdowns in 2 postseason games. Now you've got basically the best skill position wide receivers in college football with Ohio State against the best secondary in college football, which is Texas. That's what makes this game so interesting. Texas secondary has proven to be elite, but the team hasn't faced many elite passing teams this season. Going back through the Longhorn season, the team hasn't faced a top 20 passing game yet. Georgia is the closest at 22nd, and Ohio State checks in fourth in that metric. There's a case to be made that OSU is first given some of the overall schematic changes it's made in the postseason. Further, Texas is entering a bit gassed after playing nearly 38 minutes of defense against Arizona State, as well as 2 overtimes. This team will need to be firing on all cylinders to keep up with the Buckeyes, and it's fair to question if it can truly keep up. Meanwhile, the Buckeyes defense did an excellent job of putting bodies in front of Dylan Gabriel as he dropped back, completely stymieing the Oregon offense for the first quarter. As it built, they were up 34 to nothing at one point in that game. 41-21 does not tell you how dominating Ohio State was over Oregon. The Buckeyes defense has been elite all season, top of the country in many statistics, including the best success rate mark in the nation. The Longhorns have shown that it can take the top off of opposing defenses, but a big issue in this one will be the team's run game if it continues to be shaky. Ohio State's top 5 in the country in EPA rush, shutting down nearly every run game on its schedule. And that's a run-first Big Ten that they're doing it in. Texas averaged fewer than 3 yards per carry against Arizona State. A lot of pressure will fall on Ewers to answer these questions that the Buckeyes secondary gives him. Now, when you look at that, the other thing about Ohio State's defense we've seen is we saw a lot of cover 2. I think it was like 26-27% of the time over the first 2 playoff games. Ohio State was not a cover 2 team when they were playing in the Big Ten during the season. I think their ability to play cover 2 and the way they can shut defenses down with this is going to make this huge to Texas run the ball. I don't think Texas can run the ball. I like Ohio State in this one due to its ability to show this high of a ceiling, while it's fair to question if Texas can match it. You know, people question like IU's schedule this year going into the playoffs or SMU. Texas's schedule outside of the 2 Georgia losses with nothing outstanding. And I don't think Clemson and Arizona State talent-wise is anywhere near what we're going to see from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, 6 points, is that too much? No. I'm nailing that 6 points all day long. I think Ohio State is the superior team here. And I think it's possible Quinn Ewers isn't even the best quarterback on the Texas roster. That's probably Arch Manning. But they're rolling with Ewers. Don't be surprised if we see Manning by early to mid-second quarter. All right. I will also target a team over because right now this point spread also comes with Ohio State's team over is 29.5. I think you could nail that all day, just like you could nail all day Ohio State by 6 points. I think Ohio State's going to the national championship game, and it's going to take a hell of a team and a hell of an effort to beat them. They're the most talented team in the country right now. And the biggest difference between regular season and postseason is ever since that Michigan game, the defense has changed to a lot more cover two high or cover two safety. And the other thing is this team is playing with a major chip on its shoulder. Now, no matter what it does, it can't erase that loss to Michigan, at least in the eyes of Michigan fans. But a national championship, you can throw that back at Michigan because they haven't won one in a year, and Ohio State will have won one this year. So I think at the end here, we get Ohio State beats Texas. And I think this game's not even going to be close. I think it's going to be 44-24. I think the Buckeyes run away from this. I think that the Buckeyes will have a much tougher game against Notre Dame or Penn State in the national championship game. But I don't know right now that anybody can beat this Buckeye team except themselves. All right, guys, make sure you go to grillingtruth.com. Check us out. Click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube for BetMGM, our top sportsbook for betting on college football. And you can follow me on X at Grueling Truth. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap the show up. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.